Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Let's talk about those damn heavyweights because they're really starting to get on my moobs. We'll start with Anthony Joshua, who announced a day or two ago that he won't be fighting until December, despite the fact that he wanted to fight 3 times a year. He's had the fight against Franklin. He was going to have one in the summer and then one towards the end of the year. But suddenly it's, no, I'm not fighting until December. Why? He hasn't given a reason. And I know they wanted to put him in with Dillian Whyte, which is a fight that, okay, it's not that bad, but it's one that I struggle to get up for, if you know what I mean. We've seen it before, but all right, it's not too bad. It's not too bad a fight. But in the summer, you know what I mean? Well, I don't want to wait till December to see him fight Dillian Whyte again. The summer, summer's spring at the moment, but summer's only around the corner. Another couple of months, fight Whyte, and then make a move towards the end of the year against someone he hasn't fought before, who's, at the very least a top tenner. That would be a good, in inverted commas, comeback year for AJ. But we're not going to see that, apparently. So why has he done this? Well, it's possible that Whyte, there may be some, disagreement over money with Dillian Whyte. Don't forget, a few years ago, Dillian was offered the fight against AJ and turned it down, the rematch, that is. It would be the third fight, of course, because Dillian won in the amateurs when they were both raw novices, and then he got knocked out by AJ when they were both, relatively early in their pro careers. They're both very different fighters now, which is why I think that fight would be not that interesting, but at the same time not too bad. It'd be a case of who's regressed most, perhaps. And I think Dillian's defence punch resistance is very, very suspect right now at this point of his career, and AJ has been accused of lacking mental strength and so on. So it would hold some appeal, I suppose. But again, I don't want to wait till December to see that. What's the point? We've seen it before. And even if let's just say AJ knocks out Dillian in 3 rounds or less. Let's say he knocks him out in a round in December. People are going to say, well, Dillian got chinned by Tyson Fury 2 fights ago, and 2 fights ago before that, he got chinned by Povetkin. So, all right, you knocked him out in a round or 2. Who cares? It's going to be that type of thing. So why is AJ dragging his heels over this, or why are his team dragging their heels over this? Maybe, and this is only me theorising, I don't know. Again, as I always say, I don't have any inside information, but perhaps it's because he just wants to work on things in the gym with Derek James. They've had their one fight against Franklin. I think there was obviously there's plenty to work on for AJ. It wasn't a great performance, but at the same time, it was the type of performance that was necessary to reveal what needs working on. And when I say what needs working on, I don't just mean the technique and stuff, which of course is vital, but where AJ's up, but where he's at between the ears, mentally, his psyche, what needs to be worked on there. Maybe a sports psychologist brought in. You remember Carl Froch in his rematch with Groves, he brought a sports psychologist in, and it seemed to pay dividends. Maybe that's what AJ needs. I don't know. But, the guy, where's he now to AJ? 32, 33 now, 33 this year. He's not old for a heavyweight, but he really needs to be making some strides. And yes, playing the long game, I get it. That's great. Because AJ said, it's part of the bigger picture. We have to look at the bigger picture. I agree. But there's no substitute for getting in the ring and fighting. So why not have a 10-rounder in the summer, and then if Whyte's not available, and then fight Whyte at the end of the year? At least you're keeping busy. Do you know what I mean? You're keeping the ball rolling. You're highlighting what needs to be worked on all the time, rather than taking all that time to work on things. Then you get in the ring towards the end of the year and it's still not fixed, and you're thinking, well, we've just had almost a year to get things right and it's still not right. I don't know. I think it's a strange one, this. And then, of course, you've got Tyson Fury. So he ducked Usyk. He ran from him. There's no 2 ways of putting it. It was entirely his fault that fight was not made. The Usyk fight for all the marbles, for all the belts, undisputed. Fury didn't want it. Whichever way you slice and dice it, whichever way you try to spin it, however, you know, however many so-called fake charlatan journalists you get. Am I talking about you, Gareth A. Davies? Yes, I am. And how much, never mind how much BS gets spewed by your promoter. Am I talking about you, Mr. Frank Warren? Yes, I am. You know, he ducked him. He ducked Usyk. Flat out ducked him. So there's now talk of him facing Andy Ruiz. Do we care about this fight? I mean, it's not, again, it's like the AJ Whyte thing. It's not a bad fight. It's just not that interesting. It doesn't set you alight. And I've heard so many people say, oh, the heavyweight division is a load of garbage. There's no talent around. No, I don't agree. I just don't agree. I mean, people perhaps don't have much of a sense of boxing history when they talk about this, when they talk like that. There is a lot of talent in the heavyweight division. The only problem is they're not fighting each other. Look, apart from Joshua, Usyk and Fury, Joe Joyce, Hrgovic, Jarrell Anderson, Frank Sanchez, you know, Zhilei Zhang even. You know, these are guys that they should be fighting each other. At least Joyce and Zhang are going to, two massive geezers who are going to knock lumps out of each other. At least they're putting on a show. But Ruiz against Fury, does anyone care? Really? I mean, maybe the idea is, well, Tyson will get in with Ruiz. He'll beat him up, or hopefully look better than AJ did in, well, obviously, AJ got knocked out by Ruiz in the first fight. But if Fury dominates him and stops him, it looks good, you know, especially as Joshua was very, very, very conservative and a little bit gun-shy, or more than a little bit gun-shy in that rematch with Ruiz. If Fury looks good, he can say, well, I did better against Ruiz than Joshua. So what? Get in the ring with Joshua. And Joshua, you get in the ring with Fury. I'm not having any of it anyway. I'm not interested in this, in these, you know, in these, what can we call them, consolation fights. I'm not interested in it. I want to see the best fight the best, like they do in other weight divisions. Boxing's in a great condition. People say, oh, boxing's dying. And no, it's not. There's plenty of great fights out there in the lower divisions. But the flagship division, which is the heavyweights, there is talent there, but they're not fighting each other regularly enough. They're just not, you know. Okay, well, so but these are two fights. Whyte versus AJ in December. Especially in December, I'm not overly thrilled about that fight. Ruiz, Tyson Fury, does anyone really care? Not really. No, I'm not. I'm not into it. I mean, I don't know. If you think I'm wrong, you leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Thanks as always for listening in. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing if you could, and hit the subscribe button if you're new, and the like button, that helps us out as well. Like I say, leave your comments below and let me know what you think about these two potential fights, and I'll answer your comments. So thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.